Hold on. Do I have a... Here. This'll do. Here. Look at the cross. I'm hypnotizing you, the audience, and Ryan. This is a good movie.
Dude, shut the fuck up. Just stop.
There's
No,
witches and shit in it.
we're not going to get into this conversation. No amount of manipulation could ever convince me
this movie doesn't need Christopher Reeve in it to be good.
Hey, dude, like you were saying before, he's in a poster.
Yeah. Sorry, that was a dumb bit. Yeah. So we're talking about Supergirl, guys, from 1984. This movie sucks, and I've heard of it. So obviously, yeah, I've heard of this movie. I've heard that it's not very good. I wasn't expecting it to be this bonkers of a movie because, like, there's some weird stuff in this, and I wasn't expecting it to get to that level. It's bad for kind of different reasons than like some of the other bad Superman movies we talked about. But yeah, speaking of, obviously, this is not our first time talking about Superman-related content. We've previously covered. I think we've done 3 episodes
on the
the Superman movies. We talked about the first 3 Superman films leading up to the release of Superman 2026, and then we later came back and finished up that series talking about the rest of the movies, and then we also obviously did an episode on the actual Superman 2026 movie. So yeah, we're back to talk about the only one that we forgot, and I think a lot of people forget this movie exists too.
I never forgotten about this film. The first thing I told you is I've tried watching this movie up until this point about 3 or 4 times. I've either turned it off within the first 10 minutes or I've fallen asleep within the first 5. This is bro. It took me 3 separate viewings to finish this thing.
Oh,
I couldn't sit straight through, bro. It's
definitely a struggle.
It's hard, bro. 2 hours? Someone needs to be thrown.
This movie has no right being that long. Actually, that brings up a good point. I want to see how long are the other ones. Superman 4 is what? Hold on. Superman 4 is an hour and a half, and Superman 3. Okay, Superman 3 is about as long, and that's a pretty boring movie, so that kind of makes sense. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, just for shits and giggles, how much was Superman 2? An hour and 56.
Like, bro, there's no reason this should be the longest
2 hours and 7
one of those films.
It's not the longest, but it's up there. I don't understand what justifies that length. Oh no, it is the longest. Wait, is it really the longest?
Yeah,
there's
bro.
No way.
There's no way it's not the longest.
Hold on a second. I don't remember it being that long. There's no way this is longer. I thought it was just 2 hours.
No, it's like 2 hours and 6 minutes.
Hold on.
This film.
Hold on. I have to pull up. I watched this.
Dude,
on
I'm holding
Amazon.
onto my chair like.
Okay. Why does it say that then? Okay.
I don't know what it's saying.
Okay, so the version that I watched on HBO Max is only 2 hours and 5 minutes, so it's not the longest one, but
it might as well be.
For some reason on Google it says it's 2 hours and 30 minutes. Thank God it's not that long, because that's insane. I can't even begin to imagine what that extra 30 minutes is. Just it's beyond me.
Well, it just seems like this whole film was conceived to be something totally different than what it turned out to be.
It was.
Like,
Christopher Reeve did not want to do this movie, so they had to like completely rewrite the script
and give him like one of the like you were saying before we started, one of the funniest like one-line pieces of dialogue to explain why he's not in this movie.
Yeah.
Because like the original idea for this movie was having Supergirl like rescue Superman, I think, in that galaxy, that the far away that he went to, or wherever it is. And then, like what you were saying, Christopher Reeve said, "Nah, fuck that. Like, I'm good."
Well, I mean, it's mind you, this is probably after Superman 3, I think, they had definitely finished shooting it. I don't remember if it had released by the time they were shooting it, like shooting Supergirl. But yeah, I mean, at that point, Christopher Reeve was pretty open about like, I don't want to be in these movies anymore. Obviously, he did come back for Superman 4 because they paid him like, I don't know, $100 million or something like that.
Dog load of money.
Yeah, and so yeah, they decided this was gonna be the way that the Selkines were gonna revitalize the franchise, and it did not work.
They did something.
The same problems that I have with like Superman 3 are in this movie, but kind of like a little worse.
A little.
It's shot worse. It's not as bad as Superman 4. Like the visual effects start kind of okay, but then like as the movie gets going, they kind of get worse. And yeah, the writing is just all over the place. I don't understand what's going on in most of this. So,
Dude, like, I texted you last night, like, I can't really explain what this movie is about. Like, I know what it's about, but a lot of it really isn't very cohesive. At least, so, like, I'm not too familiar with the Supergirl character, but from what I thought, like, right off the bat, the movie starts on in Argo City, which is like a little broken off piece of Krypton that survived, I'm pretty sure.
I like how they don't explain that though. Like,
Yeah, they don't explain that because I'm pretty sure Supergirl doesn't know about Argo City until like later in the comics. Like, I'm pretty sure what happens is they send off Superman when the planet explodes, but they send her right behind him to go and like look out for him on Earth and let him grow up, not being alone. But then something happens, like an explosion or something, like shoots her off course, like the same way that Superman was going, and she gets like cryogenically frozen, or something happens where she stops aging and is stuck in space while Superman's like growing up on Earth, and then something happens and she gets back to Earth, and like that's as far as my knowledge of Supergirl goes. But I've always thought that she never had any idea of like what Argo City was up until like later down the line. And so like after watching this, I'm really curious to see how like the new Supergirl movie goes about it.
yeah, I don't know. I'm so confused by every aspect of this movie, like plot wise, because we start off, and I think that's the other thing. Like, I think they're definitely trying way too hard to make her Superman 2.0. Like, she's literally the same character for the most part, except she's a little more like innocent and pure, and you know, the sort of the idea of like the American teen, like nice girl or something. Like, you know what I'm trying to say, right? Like,
Yeah, the nice, sweet, like high school girl that like every
yeah,
guy wants to date.
yeah, pretty much. It just doesn't work. I just and then
I mean, dude, the second she crash lands, she's already in the suit. Like, she just has it on. Shotty is just Supergirl.
so here's my question about that. So I wrote this down twice because it confused me. So when she, you know, leaves Argo City or whatever, we experience a version of like the iconic you know, trip through space sequence that doubled as the kind of opening credits of the first movie. And that's, you know, that's fine, whatever, you know, we can see her doing all that stuff. My problem is that it immediately cuts to her opening up the pod and flying out of the water. So my immediate question was, one, how did she get in the water? And two, why is like, where did the spaceship go? Like and then it's made worse that at the end of the movie, when she takes that fucking orb thing or whatever to go deliver it back to Argo City, she jumps in the water and then it cuts to her like flying / swimming towards the city. And so it just kind of left me wondering, like, was all of this in the water?
I mean, the whole just like setup of this movie makes no sense. Like, I don't get why Peter O'Toole's Zoltar is like fucking around with this this magical ball where I'm like trying to read like what it was, like what it does, because they never like really explain it too well in the film what it actually
He
is.
says it's a power source, and to me that makes it sound like it's kind of like a battery or something,
Right?
or like like Marvel's like Iron Man's like arc reactor type thing. But then it gets worse because once it lands on Earth, a witch starts using it to do magic, and it's never really explained how that works. It also doesn't help that like Zoltar, Peter O'Toole's character, and Kara both use it to like create things like out of nothing with a wand or something. It's all really weird, and I didn't really understand what was going on through most of that. It's and that's whatever. It is kind of more just supposed to get us into the main conflict of the movie, which is they lose it and she has to go find it, and that takes her to Earth. That's whatever, but it was always a thing because they keep bringing up like the power of the orb or whatever. And the whole time I was just like, I don't understand what the power actually is. Can you maybe break that down to me? And it never does.
Well, it only gets worse once Faye gets it, because all she ever says is, "I want to have world domination," and that's it. The thing just kind of does whatever
Yeah, pretty much.
for the entire film. It doesn't seem like she ever knows like what it is or how it works. This movie just feels about like a bunch of jumbling ideas on what they wanted like this to go as, but like it's very clear that they were expecting like, I don't understand why you'd need Christopher Reeves. I get why they wanted to, because they wanted to try to connect it, but they do such a bad job in the ways that they can connect it anyway that it makes me feel so pointless. Like, I don't understand the need for Mark McClure to come back as Jimmy Olsen in this to look like a 35-year-old trying to date a 19-year-old. And it's just, or not even 19,
She's
probably
not,
17.
there's no way she's 19.
She's probably like
She's
17.
like
I'm trying to think of
15
like,
probably.
what type of, is that like a, was it a high school girls
I
preparatory?
think it's like a private school for like girls or something.
So let's just safely say 16, 17. No matter which way you spin it, it's
Safely.
fucking weird, bro. It's
Let's
just
safely
really,
say that, right?
it's just, dude, it makes no sense why they would do that. It's really fucking creepy.
Well, it's not just him either. Like, the love interest for Kara is also like obviously like a 30-year-old
35 that's being seduced by like a 55-year-old woman. So you have like a bunch of different generations just trying to like
fuck each other.
fuck each other. And it really just makes no sense, and it boggles my mind. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know how else to talk about it, because this movie just feels like a bunch of just mishmash scenes doing whatever and just getting to some point by the end. Because once Kara comes to Earth, which, by the way, I've already told you this, but the fact that they make her just say her name's Linda Lee and not just Kara is wild, because majority of the film they say like Kara once or twice. And the whole time she keeps calling herself Linda Lee. And I'm just so confused. Like, who's Linda Lee? Oh, wait, that's right. It's supposed to be you, Kara. And
My thing is, it treats it as if Kara is like the name, like her superhero name. And like I understand with like Kal-El, like that's an alien name. Like it sounds
like Kara
alien.
feels
But, like,
very...
yeah. Kara, it's the only thing that ruins is the last name. Like Zor-El, like that's weird. Just
Like,
call
why not
yourself
Kara Lee?
Kara. Yeah, just come up with a random fucking name, like last name. You don't need to change your first name because your name already sounds fine, like human passably. And so everyone calls her Linda, but she introduces herself like as Supergirl as Kara, and it's weird. It feels out of place.
Just so weird. And I just don't understand why we have to add like another Lane character to this movie. Like, it's so obvious they want this to be a Superman movie without trying to give Supergirl and any of her actual like comic book characters any real, like, I'll be honest, I really don't know if any of the characters in this movie are from like Supergirl comics or
I
Supergirl
doubt it.
stories. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I doubt it as well. And that's really what kind of boggles my mind, is because the story's not written well. The dialogue somehow even worse. And all the acting is as stiff as possible. When you have Faye Dunaway and Peter O'Toole in this movie.
My thing is that, like, Peter O'Toole, they just give him a bunch of, like, random exposition, like, science-y jargon shit to say. And then, you know, he pops in and out of the movie, and it feels just like such a waste. And because, like, they kill him off towards the end of the movie in the Phantom Zone, and I just kind of
Which is
like,
a super awkward scene, by the
it
way.
is. It's awkward in the way that it's, like, shot and directed, but also in the way that, like we don't really care about the character because we haven't had much time with him. And then on top of that, I didn't understand why he died, like what happened, because they were doing fine, and then all of a sudden he like gets
like,
sucked into the vortex or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, how did that happen? It just didn't make sense to me, because I thought they were gonna make it so that Selena was gonna, like, you know, do something magic-y and he was gonna, like, fall over, but that doesn't really happen. And so I was just kind of left scratching my head at that moment.
I mean, that kind of goes towards Selena's whole character. Everything about her is just random. Like, she'll just teleport Ethan to her whenever she wants, but then he'll just, like, kind of lose grip of the spell that he's under throughout the film.
Okay, so the spell. So it occurred to me while I was watching that she makes such a big deal about him falling in love with Linda. And this just goes to show you how stupid this entire fucking plot point is. So first,
every plot point's stupid in this movie. There's not a non-stupid plot point.
So
you can laugh at it all.
So first off, we start with her being like, "Oh, I want world domination," but then she goes out of her way to, like, roofie this guy and kidnap him to make him fall in love with her, and she, like, does she does this whole spell or potion or whatever. And the way that the potion works, and mind you, she says this out loud so that we as the audience understand what it is. The way it works is that once he takes it, he'll fall in love with the first person he sees, right? And then she specifically tells us from the book that she's reading that the spell will only break if one of two things happens, whichever comes first. Either the spider that she trapped in those two, like, nutshells or whatever, either it gets released, or, like, a day passes or something like that. So we already know that the spell is not, like, permanent, and it can very easily be broken. And yet it never occurs to her to just break the spell after it doesn't work. Like, she gets so worked up about the fact that this Linda is her romantic rival. Yet there's a very easy solution to that problem. Just, dispel the potion that you made. And then the other thing too is that I refuse to believe that this dude walked all the way back into town and did not look at a single person before he saw Kara.
Bro, it's like, just reminds me of Sydney in Scream 7 when she decides to just sit there on the phone instead of just, like, going back to Gale and taking a car.
Yeah.
And then she just decides to run it for some reason because the plot needs tension, like, contrived tension.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of how it felt when I was watching it.
No, yeah. And just the setup of the scene is weird for this action sequence with this rampaging construction truck or whatever, and all that was just kind of weird. It didn't work because, like you said, there's like fake tension, and I kind of didn't understand what was going on.
Like, all the tension is, like, forced, unimaginable stuff that, like, makes no sense. Like,
Yeah.
the whole thing with Zoltar going to the
Phantom
Phantom Zone.
Zone.
It's like, okay,
Why?
like, why? Like, just because the plot needs him to be there when she randomly gets thrown in there,
Well,
just
the
to
other
make
thing,
it even more confusing at how they actually she gets out. Like,
the other thing too is that she makes a comment about how he founded Argos, yet he's not allowed to play with the magic ball. Like, okay, like to me, it just like it sets him up as just like some random like scientist dude. But then she says that, and it makes me feel like okay, I feel like he should be more important than he actually is. And it's weird stuff like that that keeps happening. Like every once in a while, something will happen or someone will say something that directly contradicts another piece of information that we have. And then to the cherry on top of all this stupidity is that for some reason Selena never realizes that Linda is Kara or Supergirl, even though I watched her watch all of that happen. Because like she transforms back into the Linda persona, like just you know
well,
she
every
doesn't
character in
go
this is just an
hide or anything.
oblivious idiot, dude.
Pretty much, yeah, pretty much.
Like, bro, what is it? Like the fact that everyone just casually believes that she's Clark Kent's like cousin, and the fact she only knew who he was is because of the poster.
How
Is
does
like,
she know who he is though?
just bro, they wear the same suit.
No, but how? No, because she knows that her cousin was sent to Earth, right? But how does she know that
No,
he
it's
was
Clark
raised
Kent.
as Clark Kent?
Yeah, no, I agree that because the plot needs it.
And how does she know that she has powers either? Like she arrives on Earth and she immediately
Books
is
it,
using her
flying all
powers
over.
with no issue, and I'm just like, okay, that's a little weird, but whatever. Oh, and don't even get me started on that weird. The first interaction she has with someone is them sexually harassing her. Like, just why? Why did we put that in the movie?
Because it's the 80s, bro. I hate to say it like that, but I feel like every superhero movie made in the 80s, 90s has to have something where there's some assault of a woman going on, so
I
like
guess.
some figure can come in and save them.
Well, the thing too is that like nobody even has to come in and save her, and I thought we are gonna get like at least a cool action scene, and then
Well,
we don't. Like every time this
well,
movie tries to do something cool, it immediately becomes extremely lame.
well, because they didn't realize that they spent their entire budget on that one set piece in the beginning where everyone's like, that one crane is like losing control
Oh,
in the streets, and like the guy's just like the guy's just cradled up it in the front of it like a little fucking baby, just like sleeping there. And I'm like, dude, what is all of this supposed tension that they're trying to sell me right now? Like, it's just really hard for me to talk about this in any like continuous or like straightforward narrative because nothing about this is straightforward in a narrative sense or in a character sense. And I think that's what really bothers me is because you were telling me like, oh man, I don't know if I really hate this one more than Superman 3 or 4. It's like, dude, anything with Christopher Reeve just makes the film anything far better than what this movie is. I guarantee you, if Christopher Reeves had a cameo, it'd be a way better film.
I don't know. This movie is very frustrating because you can easily tell like everything that's wrong with it, and it's not like it seems to think that how do I put this? It's like it's not ashamed of any of that. And I feel like it really should be because the dialogue is very cringy, most of the performances don't work, the visual effects are kind of meh, and then the story just doesn't make any sense. Like things just keep happening. And like why is the Phantom Zone in this movie about witches? How do they even know about the Phantom Zone? How do they send her there? Like
Well,
there's
dude.
every time something happens, I ask a question and then there's no answer. Like it doesn't explain any of this stuff, and I just got left sitting there being like, why did we make this movie? And why did we feel the need to include any of this stuff? Because it just feels like they're trying to go out of their way to like harken back to the Christopher Reeve stuff, but then they're also trying to like do this weird side quest as well that doesn't really have anything to do with everything else.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't help that Selena just randomly gets a magical mirror like at some point during this movie, so she can see whatever
Is that what that was?
Yeah, dude, it's a magical mirror. I tried telling you this
I
last
assumed
night.
it was the orb
No,
doing it.
It's a magical
But then,
mirror.
like,
That has nothing to do with the orb, I'm pretty
she
sure.
pops back out of the mirror when she escapes the Phantom Zone, and I'm
Yeah,
just
dude,
like, how
it
does
makes
that
no
work?
sense. It
Because
makes
like
no sense.
we see her flying away into space like the way that the Zod and company do in like the Superman 2 movies. But in those movies, when they break out, they just like, appear out in space wherever that glass pane or whatever was flying around.
Yeah.
Which is not what happens in this movie. I'm just like, okay, I don't understand why any of that was like that. But
yeah, that goes for this whole movie. It makes no sense.
the showdown, the final showdown in this movie is so fucking lame. Like,
I told you, bro. She just forgets she has powers.
She forgets that she can fly when all of like the floorboards are like falling out from under her, and then everyone knows Supergirl's only weakness is falling rubble because she Selena knocks over a fucking gargoyle or something, and then. I understand like the love interest character being like, "Oh no, Supergirl, watch out!" But then it cuts to Supergirl's actual reaction, and she's afraid. Like she like looks up and she's like, "Oh no," or something like that. And I was just like, "I'm sorry, you are a superhuman. You should not be afraid of a small ass statue hitting you on the head."
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Just all the powers in this movie are nonsensical. Like they just come out of nowhere, and that's the other thing too. Like what's her name? Selena doesn't even really end up using the orb in the final battle. She uses that fucking wand that the math teacher gives her.
Dude, you're literally... I don't know what else to say to that, because that is literally the story of the entire film. It's more of a story than the actual story.
Yeah.
Is what the fuck is going on? How did these characters get this? How did this character get here? Why is this character not doing this all of a sudden? And like... It's just... I hate watching movies like this because it just frustrates me more than actually like gets me mad.
Yeah, this movie's not very enjoyable. It's I don't know, like I made fun of Superman 3 before for being like boring and not being about like it's not really a Superman movie, but like the plot kind of makes sense. Like you can follow what's happening even though it's kind of, stupid. But this one is just like a bunch of random things being thrown at the wall and then being like, yeah, this is a Superman or a Supergirl movie. This is gonna work. Like people are gonna love this.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And it feels like before they even started filming this, a lot of what this film was supposed to be relied on Christopher Reeves being in it. Because there was a point where apparently Supergirl was supposed to have a plot line in the third Superman film.
Oh yeah, she was supposed to be introduced into it. Yeah,
but then they totally scrapped that. Like, I don't get this. No wonder why Demi Moore and Brooke Shields apparently didn't want to do this movie. So
it's not that they didn't want to do it; they got rejected by Salkind. He wanted an unknown actress. Dolly Parton turned down the role of Selena.
Yeah, I just have like nothing more to say about this because there's so much of nothing in this. Like, I don't know how to look at it from like a critical sense or like any way. I'll be honest.
It's something in that a lot happens. It just doesn't mean anything. Like it's no substance. Like, Supergirl fights the air in one scene. And
apparently
then
there's some demon that comes in at the end that you totally kind of forget about.
She kisses a grown man for some reason.
There's a lot of weird fetish stuff in this movie that I think I wasn't expecting.
When she rescues him from the Selena, like halfway through the movie, and she like breaks open the coconut and she like takes her finger and dips it in the coconut juice and then like sticks it in his mouth. And I was just like, what? Why was this the action that we decided to give Supergirl in her own movie?
Because there's not... I think this is my one concern with the new Supergirl movie is I just don't know if people can give her an interesting enough story. Because like I watched a little bit of the Supergirl show.
I only ever saw the first
It
season.
it was fine for what it was, like, but it felt like they didn't know what to do with her for that
I mean,
entire show, and it feel not as bad or egregious as this movie, but definitely along the same lines.
yeah, it feels like a lot of the time they think that Supergirl is just the woman version of Superman, and that's not really interesting. And that's kind of the reason why I only got through the first season of Supergirl. It was just like this is just it doesn't feel like its own thing, and I kind of just got tired of it very quickly, and I was just like, okay, so Supergirl works in her own as a journalist in this different you know news outlet or whatever, and she has her own Lois Lane and she has her own Jimmy Olsen, and it's just like I don't care.
Yeah, they just purposely try not to make her own character throughout this whole movie. And for me, like, I'm not saying I'm gonna relate to her, but the film doesn't make me try to, or make me understand her viewpoints, or doesn't make me understand why she like makes some of the decisions that she does. And like, it's not just her; it's it's all these characters that have that same writing flaw.
I mean, like, this is something that I'm kind of makes me more interested in the new Supergirl movie, is that at least from the marketing, it positions her as like more of a juxtaposition of Clark, and I think that's really interesting. Like you said, like we don't get a good idea of her own viewpoint. Like, it's very cut and dry. It's all like surface level. She's just this like innocent, happy-go-lucky young girl, and she does this like fish out of water stuff, and
But it's like not really fish out of water. She seems to adapt pretty easily to
yes and
everything.
no. Like there's parts where it's like she asks like, "Oh, what's a train?" And I'm like, "You've been here this long, you don't know what a fucking train is." It's just stuff like that where it's not consistent, but we're supposed to believe that she's just like super innocent and naive, but it doesn't do anything with that. Like, it doesn't set her up as like the moral antithesis of the villain or anything. And so I just kind of kept questioning, like, why, like, what's the point of this movie? Like, what's the theme? What am I supposed to be attaching to? Why am I supposed to care when clearly no one else does?
Yeah.
Like, she doesn't even actively look for the orb.
No, she just randomly comes across it and just decides to be a teenager.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, that's really it. And it doesn't make it any better that Selena's just evil and wants world domination to just want world domination. It's as cut as dry as that. And then you have, like, Nigel, who's
the most annoying character in this movie.
The most annoying character, who's, like, simping over her for half the film, but then not. Like, it's just a lot of weird character dynamics that I also don't understand, because the film just refuses to try and flesh them out outside of, like, some really bad, small, jokey interactions with, like, Nigel being like, "Oh, you don't know what you're messing with." But then he'll just, the next time you see him with her, he's just like, "Let me help you." And I'm just like, dude, which one is it? You're also the school teacher here, which is also just kind of weird.
That goes nowhere. Like, what? Why did he need to be the math teacher? What does that add to the story? Why does he need to even be in the movie? He doesn't do anything.
Supergirl doesn't even need to be in the movie.
Yeah, nothing about this movie needed to be made. It has no purpose. It was literally only made to continue the story without Christopher Reeve, and then they quickly realized that nobody wanted it and nobody cared, so they sold the rights to the Canon Group, and we got a worse movie.
Just makes me more excited for the new one at this point.
Oh yeah,
this one needs to be
looks
buried.
good. I think the new one looks good.
I'm like, I really don't have anything else to say about this, because it's just a boring, messy slop of a film that I will never turn on again.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd ever want to watch this movie ever again.
You want to get to final wrap up? Son?
Yeah.
All right, because like I gave this thing a fucking fat 0 out of 5 stars. There's nothing, there's no redeemable factors about this movie. The effects suck, the story sucks, the actors suck, Supergirl sucks. Like there's nothing in this I can say was halfway decent. The dialogue sucked. There was no story. It's just a bunch of people trying to fuck each other from different generations. Like, that's all I have to say towards it. Like, I really don't know what else.
Yeah, no, I agree. I gave this a 1, which, yeah, 1. So it's pretty much the same level as Superman 4, to be honest. I mean,
dude,
I think,
like, don't do Superman 4 like that.
Superman 4 is just it's just really bad.
Bro, he was on the quest for peace, though. Like, come on.
Was he though? I feel like
more than Carl.
I feel like more of that
Linda
movie
Lee.
had. I feel like that movie had more to do with him two-timing Lois Lane and that other chick than anything else.
That's still more interesting than anything that happens in this movie.
I don't know.
And you know what's funny? Isn't Annette O'Toole in that movie?
No, it's Superman
Right?
3.
That's Superman. I always confuse the two. But 2 O'Tooles in 2 really bad Superman films. Like, catch on, guys. Sorry. Oh.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm really glad they never made another one of these. And, I mean...
I'm glad they learned their lesson with this, though. Just cut the head off while you can.
It definitely makes it worse that this movie led directly into the reason why we got Superman 4. Just all of this, all around is just, none of this was great. And the whole time I was left scratching my head and just being like, oh my god, this movie's so long and
like, get it over with.
Literally.
Put me in the Phantom Zone, bro. Fuck. Like,
honestly, I'd rather. And honestly, the Phantom Zone stuff was probably some of the more interesting stuff in the movie. It's just, it doesn't have anything to do with whatever else is going on. And so I'm just like, okay, like, could we maybe have made the movie about this? But I don't know. I digress. Sorry. Yeah. So, with that said,
yeah, like, what are we watching next week at this point? Because anything will be better than this, I think. Literally anything.
All right, maybe we should not get ahead of ourselves. Next week, we are talking about Minions.
Oh!
I told you not to get ahead of yourself.
Dude, I've never seen Minions, by the way.
I saw it once when it came out in theaters.
Isn't there a new one coming out this summer? Or am I fried?
Yeah, that's why we're doing this movie. So there's a new Minions coming out. I think it's called Minions and Monsters.
Yeah.
When does this come out? It comes out July 1st. So, yeah. We will be talking about the first Minions movie in preparation for that movie. Not that I'm going to ever watch it, unless we do another
I'm not going to watch it unless we do it for the show.
Yeah.
Like, the only good Despicable Me movie was the first. That's it, guys.
Yeah,
like,
pretty much. I never watched past the second one.
That's what I'm saying.
I didn't see the other Minions movies either, because I think there was one that came out like post-pandemic, I want to say. What was it, like The Rise of Gru or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, I never watched that one.
So weird.
Yeah. Anyways. So yeah, that's what we're doing next week. If you haven't already, be sure to check us out on Spotify, Apple Music, and YouTube. And leave a like, subscribe, follow us. And we'll see you guys next time.
Peace!